Well, welcome back to Hermitage here. Let's continue on with this game. Where we're all cats. Oh boy. Okay, we're going in. Everyone ready? Teeth check. Claws check. Alright, we're good to go. Dude, seriously? Oh, hi, Em. Come on. We're cats, if crying out loud. There's not really all that much we can do to prepare. Stop it already. Keep your voice down. Zip it, you dummy. Hey, I'm just trying to liven things up a bit here. We can't understand a thing, Salil. Put that thing down first. I remember the store manager saying that you and Justin both know how to pick locks, so I thought this might come in handy. Huh? A wire? Smart thing is Salil, but we won't be able to make use of that if Nico and I learn how to use it with our mouths. That could provide difficult. Well, our ears definitely work better than before. I mean, that should help. Sounds like being a cat does have advantages from time to time. We'll know until we try. Let's not waste any more time today. You're right. Oh boy, alright. Feels good not to have a dog breathe down our necks for once. Damn right, that was a close call yesterday. Are you okay? You look like you've been going through the ringer. Yeah, I'm fine. Trust me. That deep cat sleep works wonders on me. Fixed me right up. I've probably faced a good sleep. As a human, your life wouldn't have been in danger yesterday, right? Let's not dwell on things we can't control. Everything's the same as yesterday around here. Let's check out the back room. There's still electricity here. With strict runners like that in place, there has to be something important high inside, don't you think? I assume that there are actually people here trying to protect something, and I think that's the case. We'll just have to find a way to power it off. Jumping over that is child's play for me. Let's hope so. Damn, does he live here or what? Possibly, I mean, just look at him. He's obviously a guard dog. I don't think he's caught on to us yet. He's not looking this way. Should we try to go around him? Let's sneak inside. There's no other way because of that fence. And you said combination lock on the side? That caught my attention. No. Oh, what's the matter? This is a TV factory, or was. What could possibly here that justifies such tight security? If it's some kind of a vault or something? Who would put a vault inside a factory, you fucking idiot? Yeah, good point. Now that makes things even more interesting. Let's see if we can find the way around. Because of considerable distance, the dog doesn't race to the nimble footsteps. Still tips toes on her paws step by step, Nika moves more elegantly than her. Justin is leading the group, while Zach does his best to keep his long hair from making him sneeze. Zach's efforts pay off. The dog's fast asleep. The cats shimmy all the way along the wall, carefully making sure their paws absorb the sound of every step. They manage to make it to the room. Check how thick these walls are. That's not normal for a place like this. We don't know until we go inside. Let's move. Hey guys, take a look. What's this? Looks like a distribution box? how it's still working properly is beyond me. Do you think we can turn off the power to those fences from here? Can't say for sure they're on the same grid, but I'd say it's pretty likely. Right, but how do we get to it? I have an idea, or have you already forgotten what Slil brought along? Don't tell me you're really gonna try to pick a lock with these paws. Why not? I've gotten pretty small already, and they feel comfy. Do your name justice, I see. I'm not kidding. Don't you guys feel the same way? It feels like I was made to adapt to our bodies. It feels natural to me already. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't relate to that all that much. Forget it. Let's focus. Hey, big guy. Will you help me? Okay. Edward Cat can never pull this off. Good thing Nico is far from regular, and lockpicking, no matter current form, has become second nature to her. Standing up and balancing on Zach's shoulders, Nico fills the lock, skillfully moving the wire. It takes a while, the long-awaited click. Sounds the four cats are waiting anxiously for what can be heard. The switch looks to be ancient. Want me pull it out? Want me pull it? Yeah, pull it. We have to try. Okay, watch my back. Nico hangs on the switch and pulls down with her weight. Oh look, I was right. It's so dark. Let's go back and check on things before anyone catches us. The fence is powered off. Oh, thank goodness. Finally some good news. That locker seems suspicious. If there's something in it, that could come in handy. Maybe a code or something. That'd be a major coincidence. It's worth a try. Luck is on our side right now. Alright. Is there anything here? Not really. The electric current has gone. We can get past it now. Yeah. Okay. I thought it said that there's electric current to the fence, so we couldn't get past it, but there's no on the wall here. Notice on the search and capture of escaped laboratory animal. One of our most valuable experiment animals has been lost in transit. It is close to the size of a large dog, with white hair on its body and black hair in the head region. Due to an attack by unknown assailants on the escort during the transport, the animal is now loose and may still be lurking somewhere in the factory. This animal is in an extremely abnormal mental state and does not possess the instinctive logic of a common animal. Do not attempt to calm it down or chase it away. If you see a trace of this animal in the factory, report it to the Security Bureau immediately. If you come in contact directly, remain calm and move slowly to avoid irritating the animal. This will help minimize the potential danger to yourself. In addition, the animal is part of an expansive breeding experiment. Its physical development is affected by procedures and applied during this project. Therefore, it is possible that a variety of physical characteristics, including primate and human facial features as well as limb structures, may present as mutations. Do not be alarmed if any animal shows signs of human behavior or makes sounds resembling human speech patterns. This is a null part of the experiment. The animal does not possess a personality, and no humans will be involved in this project until the next phase. Spreading rumors to the contrary is a punishable offense and will be dealt with swiftly. At the bottom of the notice, something handwritten is scrolled in red. The experimental animal has been recaptured. Alright. What's this? Notice on discipline and political awareness of the personnel involved in a comprehensive cleanup project. Recently, Security Bureau personnel discovered a secret tunnel in the side wall of the lecture room. Upon further investigation, it appeared the offender managed to widen the ventilation duct outside the data room in the classified area with a handheld tool in an attempt to escape. The offender was captured by a patrol outside the factory and handed over to our secret service for questioning. The damaged ventilation duct has been repaired. We cannot rule out the possibility that there are more spies hiding out among us. Be disciplined and remain vigilant. Keep an eye out for any suspicious behavior. To reiterate the importance of this project, the subjects of the investigation are contacts, have access to the classified area, and are in possession of important advanced technology. We are still in negotiations. We are responsible for providing a secure and conducive environment for the negotiation and for meeting their requirements to facilitate the smooth conduct of the negotiation. If the negotiations are successful, these technologies will greatly enhance our scientific knowledge, far surpassing everything we have so far. It will help us resist against the oppressive intentions of the world's great powers. Millions of people stand to benefit from it. The dream of the great motherland will be realized by our own hands. You'll be rewarded for your efforts, so you must persevere. We have a lot of work to do. Though the pressure is high, stand tall and keep working to see us all through master this final hurdle. Secret passage? What is this place? A factory or a prison? This classified area to... No, it's not his voice. I don't know his voice anymore. I've lost it. Classified area has to be behind the code projected door, right? Yeah, that's most likely where it is. Ventilation duct, huh? Well then, let's check it out. Were there more notes there? I wanted to do some more notes. Oh well. I'm sure it's fine. Check it out, there's... Oh, that's not our voice. Check it out. There's an air vent right here. I didn't even notice that before. But didn't you say that they discovered and fixed it? Fixed for humans is what they meant. You can't just plug the whole thing. That kinda goes against the purpose of an event. That means there should still be enough space for something small, such as a cat to squeeze through. Let me try. Push with his head and pull him with his claws. Zack gives it his all. Well, what now? Want to head inside? Based on the notice, there should be a so-called data room access from here. Maybe we can find what we were looking for there? Yeah, let's go. If this works out, we can head straight to the class area, bypassing the door altogether. Oh boy, that duct is pretty tight, even for a cat. But this room's a bust, it looks empty. I thought there'd be something useful here. Maybe it's all been evacuated. It doesn't look like it's still functioning properly. Look over there, that pile! Maybe there's something in those documents? You guys wait here, I'll go get it. Wait. It's a human being, but still. Behavior on display is anything but human. A man is guarding the small room. His expression is dull and empty. His tired eyes dilated. His salivating mouth has sticky threads hanging from it. Tattered clothes don't quite fit cover. Oh, that. I missed the word that. Jesus, I cannot read. Tattered clothes that don't quite fit cover his body. His hair is dry and deceived. His mumbling sounds inaudible to himself. Sniffing the ground as if to pick up a trail, he sneezes from the dust and he inhales. He shakes his head in an irritated way and rubs his nose with his palm. Snot's running from his nose, but instead of reacting to it, he lets the liquid run across his lips. It's hard to describe in words just how strange this whole scenario is. The four cats are hidden away in a dark, and all of them gulp at nearly the same time. This is a huge problem. What the hell is this? your voice down. The guard's empty eyes wander the room. He makes sounds, but they don't resemble any words. Maybe he's feeling like something is off. They'll explain why he's staying in place for so long, refusing to leave. Luckily, his tired, sluggish body prevents him from investigating the situation any further. He lets out a big, annoyed scream, most likely infuriated with his own ability to act. He vents his frustration by shouting, like a child whose favorite toy has been taken away. But that's not his cause. He doesn't find anything. His senses are far too dull to notice the four animal cats hide in the vent. His patience exhausted, he clumsily turns around. Whoa, what the? Don't move just yet. Wait a little longer. He's still out there. The guard is not left yet, far from it. He hides beneath the door like a wild predator ready to pounce on his unsuspecting, careless prey. Like the cats, they spotted his shadow peeking from underneath the doorway. Otherwise, they would have run right into his arms. Making another frustrated sound, the man leaves, this time for real. That was a really close call. Just how cunning is that guy? Don't know if I call it cunning, it's more like he found a primal instinct. It's like he's more animal than man? No one dares respond to Slill's comment. At least there's something in here that could be useful. It's just a matter of life and death now. Let's take a careful look around. We can't leave yet. Alright, so we got up here. That's... Just noticed a tattered circus poster in the corner of the room. As it turns out, it's very hard to straighten out and flatten a crumpled poster with just two paws. Using the mouth, he gently tears at the poster to make it lie flat on the ground. Something's been handwritten in the back of it. If you find this, please... Must. We are in... It is over. It is all over. It is out. It still has that box. We've all been knocked unconscious. It has a key. How did it get its hands on the key? It locked the door. We are trapped. There is nothing to eat. It only ever brings us a tiny amount of food. When we are close to starving. It knows hunger. We've starved it. Now it's doing the same to us. That's the purpose to what it's doing. What does it want? It has left. Gone. It has gone away. Starving. Come on, please. I mean, that's all I can make out. Just puts poster back in place and returns the others. Alright. Obtain passcode notebook. Check it out, there's some written on here. Contact report number 1.3.4. Underground sweep and cleanup mission successful. Power grid repaired, leftover equipment dismantled. Factory products have been kept in place as requested. Taking of samples requested to analyze differences in the batch and ascertain potential special attributes. Contact report number 1.3.6. No more responses to our requests received. They have sealed themselves off in room A indefinitely. Nothing unusual determined upon analyzation of the factory's products. Power consumption has increased dramatically. Further allocation of power resources requested. Contact report number 1.4.4. Reopened room A. We were granted permission to bring further test animals after negotiations. Taking the room back is impossible, as they have set up strange tools as a defense mechanism. Requested a variety of animals to observe the results of the selection process. Contact report number 1.6.0. Mammal experiment successful. Target transferred to the Institute for further analysis. Level of... What? Secrecy? Yeah, I guess secrecy. Alright. Level of secrecy and security to be raised. Request further volunteers as hospitality and paranoia decrease, or hostility and paranoia decrease. Contact report number 1.6.2. Volunteer experiment successful. Target transferred to the Institute for further analysis. Requesting additional volunteers. This is a glorious opportunity for the motherland to make hundreds of years of progress. Contact report number 1.6.6. They have explicitly asked for my participation in the experiment. View Appendix 1 for further details. Security code change to 43668. I look forward to bringing all of you good news. It looks like there's a lot more. There's another one here, I think. It doesn't matter. We can't go by I think right now. Let's not waste time. We can't take it with us anyway. We finally got the code, but how will we get up there? Just step on me. I'll be the ladder. I don't think that'll be enough. If you say so. Want me to tag along too then? I can hop on. Hey now, somebody's gonna break something. I don't wanna feel bad. I don't have a bad feeling it'll be me. What do you think we are? Acrobats? We're like acrocats. Just treat it like a circus performance. I'm sure you'll be fine. I'll keep an eye out and watch your back. Why? Just why'd I have to end up being as the big cat? You should be glad if you were smaller. I would have to tag along too. You wouldn't want me to step all over you now, would you? That's only a small comfort, if any. Anything else in this room? I don't see anything else. Besides, the door, but... Can we go through that door? The door is locked. I guess not. Guess gotta leave where we came. We did need a code for something, so... That dog is still there! We got a problem then. There's no way to get to the code-protected door unless we extract him somehow. Getting past won't do the trick. We would need to flip the circuit breaker switch again to be able to enter the code. I'll see what I can do. Maybe if I make some noise we can... That's a fucking bad idea. Really bad. Like, the risk you'll attract that creepy guy from before is way too high. But if he's the only one, he should be... Who says it's just him? You can't possibly know. Does that mean we have to leave? I don't see any other way at the moment. But we can't just give up. Is there any other way you could find out more about this place, Nico? We're stuck. That's what I'm trying to say. Usually be a child's play for me, but the thing is... I'm starting to think that there's not a whole lot I can do while stuck in this body. Why? This is so unfair. It's so easy for even someone like Zach could pull it off. That's saying a lot. I don't cats have fingers, damn it. Did you just imply that? No. Did you just imply that having fingers is all I'm good for? Hey, alright guys, enough. Let's try figuring this out together. Also, I can't but feel like there's someone watching us from afar. It's creepy. First things first, let's get out of here. Looks like we won't know what's really going on until the next time we come back. Huh? Is it just me having more stray cats than usual lately? We're so lucky, so careless when it comes to the store. It's so easy to climb in. If you had anything worth stealing here, it's all just... Oh, sorry. As if you had anything worth stealing here. It's just an ancient, obscure stuff anyway. You're right, Nico, but what are we doing on the second floor? Wouldn't going in your room be easier? Do you really think it's a smart idea? Here's a hint. How far you think I go to make my room burglary-proof and keep out one of the visitors out? Now you mention it, I don't doubt for a second that you're the type of person to hang out a bunch of swords behind a door and connect them to a tripwire. You strike me as someone who only enters her own room through the window. You're kidding, right? Sounds like some trashy agent novel. Yeah, obviously he's kidding. Otherwise he's even more stupid than I thought. How could he think I could forget about the fucking window? Did you seriously set up traps in your room? Not to that extent, but close. Probably enough to scare the life out of anyone who ever tries to enter. That's all I needed to hear. I won't set a single foot in there, ever. It's not like I didn't let you in the first place. Anyway, by now all you realize how dangerous this is, right? Yeah, so what? So what? Ah, are you kidding me? Well, how do you expect me to dismantle my traps if I didn't have hands? This is driving me nuts. I want to cry. I also want to laugh at you, but I can't. Why? Because I am a cat. Enough now. Any more noise and we'll have to fire up the store manager he goes running. I sharpened my claws a little yesterday. I think I'll be fine. You can't take him on. He's skinny, but for some reason, he's way stronger than he looks. Enough talk. Time for action. I'm up in the window. So, did you find anything? Easy peasy. It's the 21st century. Only 5 minutes saying your name and your name to find the color of the shorts you're wearing today. Hey, that's scary. Even I often forget which color I picked. Right, let's steer this conversation back in the direction it belongs. Anyway, Justin's underwear, away from Justin's underwear purposes. Alright, so the short version is the factory was abandoned at the end of the last century because of economic restructuring. The cost of the upkeep simply became too high. Tika points out the newspaper photo on the screen. The glory days are coming to an end. Where will the big collective factories go from here? Is among the headlines. It's still standing to this day? That's a good question. It's abandoned, but there are no attempts have made to use the space for anything else. Such a large area, completely unused for years. That doesn't make any sense to me. That's true. It should have been auctioned off by now. Usually assets like that are under a lot of scrutiny. Do you think someone's protecting that place? I don't know. Might as well ask Nico. She seems to be the most out of all of us. She seems to know the most out of all of us here. I'm afraid I can't say that either. Though those are the kind of records public kept. Those aren't the kinds of records public kept on the internet. There are kinds of rumors online, range from political struggles and intrigue to a full-blown alien invasion. Who knows what to believe? Wait. Did I hear the last one right? If you ask me, these rumors can be helpful. None of them should be dismissed so easily. Some say that, shall we say, eccentric homeless people have been living there for a while now, without enough of a temper to keep the local delinquents out. Others report having seen suspicious vans pulled to the factory regularly in the middle of the night, up until recently. Another rumor is about the factory's connection to the child abduction case a few years ago. Back then, they caught the suspect close to the factory grounds. He had a blank expression, empty eyes, and slurred speech. The exact details of the case have never come to light, which is only further proof that there's something fishy about it. So there were children in the factory? The children were rescued. At least that's the newspaper's report at the time. That's a very bleak answer. No exact number of victims have been reported, nor were any details given regarding their whereabouts. All the reports only made vague statements, but I can't bother to hunt down more information right now. We don't know if it's related to our case or not yet. We at least know for certain that there's always been something strange about that place. Whatever's going on, is it just a recent development? That doesn't really make the situation sound better to me. By the way, guys, check this post out. A traveling circus station there? No way, that's absolutely ridiculous. Who in their right mind won't perform there? It's not like there was an actual show there. According to this post, strangely, dressed people were dragging monkeys around. It didn't strike whoever saw it as a legit operation. I mean, yeah, monkeys are a common part of circus performances, but like I said before, what would they be doing in a place like that? One of the monkeys described as being very strong, even with more human traits than a monkey would normally have. Honestly, the description is very detailed. You really think of that it's not just made up. Human, huh? Anyone else get goosebumps as they heard that? Maybe it's just being a side effect of being a cat, though. Keep those goosebumps in check. It gets crazier. Take a look. This might be the most important piece of information we have. What kind of sorcery is this? The Matrix? So tell me what I'm looking at. I feel dizzy. Don't worry. You're not dizzy. You're just dumb. Easy to mix up for someone like you. What with both of them staring you starting with a D and all. Jesus, Nico. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Power consume. God dang it. Power consumption curve. What's the deal? Why are we looking at this? Oh, there's something strange going on. Care to take a guess as to what it is? I mean, I can't think of anything. Especially with those... Huh? Wait a second. Is this the factory's power consumption? What the hell? Are you sure this is right? Yep, an abandoned building still requiring electricity. It is already strange enough, but those numbers are simply insane. Don't tell me we broke into some super secret electromagnetic weapons facility. With our luck, I wouldn't even roll that out. This really isn't my area of expertise. Just how high is that amount? This is... Oh, this is way near millions. If you assume that air conditioning unit requires about 700 watts per hour... Now you do the math. Just to know how crazy that is. What they spent on electricity in a whole month could put Phoenix High through a whole... Could put you through Phoenix High in a whole year. Siphoning off such amounts is next to impossible, and the electricity bill would be astronomical. I assume that their own secret network is some here. It's a foreign mass production facility, so maybe they had their own special grid hooked up way back? Maybe, but I don't know. I hate to say it, but it seems things are starting to take a turn even more insane. Yeah, our hunches start from the beginning. The secrets about this place run deep. I mean, that should be obvious from what we saw there, right? So you think our bodies are really being kept there, or...? I mean, it's the most likely place. Nico can't resist the urge to buy her nails, but the taste of fur in her mouth stops her at the last moment. It's a frustrating feeling. Anyway, I think I managed to come across more evidence. Evidence of what? The fact that our current state is directly related to the factory, or that's my theory at least. No, let's hear it. I think we'll all share that suspicion, but I'd like to hear your reasons, especially if it's all evidence. I don't know if I'd go that far. It's just something that made me think. Because... Okay. No doubt a couple people have turned... No doubt a couple people have turned to furry cats. It's cute, but how on earth did they end up in that state? Okay. I mean, it's gonna be note 2 or note 3. I have no idea which one. What else is there? I don't think it'd be an anonymous note. And we know it's not abandoned, but I don't know if that's relevant here yet. Don't think that's needed yet. I actually don't know what we need aside the notes. I mean, it can't be both notes, right? It can't be both notes. Oh, there's more. Okay. That helps, I think. Does it, though? I'm missing pets. Because they're taking other people's pets. They're putting humans into the pets. Because they said that when the pets are found, they're displaying wrong behavior. So I like that one. Is there any more? No. By no means abandoned? That doesn't tell us what's happened, though. Both of these do. But, like, it can't be both the notes, right? The Odd Guardian. Yeah, okay, so which note would I want to pick here? Employees were caught trying to escape confidential information through the ventilation ducts. I'm thinking note 2, and I don't know, maybe the Odd Guardian? Nope. That's not enough to prove the point. You must focus and think straight, just like Store Manager does. This case isn't particularly hard to solve. After all, everyone has already had the most important piece of evidence themselves. Nobody can deny the state that they are in. Okay. Oh, I don't know. So they can't deny the state that they're in, so Odd Guardian doesn't help. Doesn't help. Secret Note doesn't help. Secret Post doesn't help. Odd Guardian doesn't help. I'm not even sure if missing... Well, Miss Pets would help. Because that's where the pets came from. No. It's not for the point. Cat paws? Let's just go ahead and save. Oh, I can't save. Oh, boy. I like missing cats here. I don't know. How is that more relevant than number 3, though? Because, like, I feel like it's gotta be 2. Because that's the experiment where they had a dog. And they gave him human-like qualities. So that's them. The missing pets is where they got the pets from. That's how they swap bodies. I mean, unless I have to... Actually, yeah. Because it yelling at me is probably asking me to get this to prove that they're cats. Because they're cats. Even though they know they're cats. So, like, we don't need this to prove that. We would need this to prove that? Okay, cool. Alright. Spiritual replacement. Didn't we know that? Like, yeah. They're cats now, and the cats that were them are now the humans. I thought we knew that already. Alright. Let's keep an open mind and try to figure out why we are what we are now. There's several possibilities. Number 1, we are actually cats, and all memories of our past are nothing more than illusions. Number 2, we are humans and we turn to cats. There is nothing left for our human side. Number 3, we turn to cats, but our human bodies remain, and we were merely transferred into the cat's bodies, which, yeah, it's 3. Number 4, we are still humans and simply are under the illusion that we are cats. Let's say that number 1 and 4 don't sound realistic. Apart from the one where I fainted, I've kept all my past memories just fine. But I can't deny that I've indeed attained some cat-like traits, though sleep habits are something else. Just look at Zach. He's barely changed at all. Even the size of his brain remains roughly the same. Gee, watch it. In short, the whole experience feels way too real. I highly doubt our imagination could possibly play such tricks on us. This leaves us with only 2 possibilities. Where the hell are our old bodies? And what are we? Based on what I read in the factory, the HC has pretty much taken over the place, doing all sorts of experiments, causing all kinds of trouble. Those lab animals and their experiments are straight out of a horror movie. You mean the one that escaped? People back then didn't dare to question anything. Even those notices didn't stop them from working there as long as everything were all perfectly normal. Though, yeah, those handwritten notes were obviously put up in a hurry. You can tell whoever did it really must have been scared. With what Ultimate tells us is that they're holding animals with human traits there. All the employees had to keep the secret. That sounds like a current predicament, but still doesn't answer where your second or third theory is true, does it? Have you ever forgotten what we came here for in the first place? Missing pets. I see you're getting at. Some people managed to recover their pets. Others reported something being wrong with them. So the cats and dogs must have been there a while. So the owners unwittingly got dragged into this? Yeah, that seems to be the case. I bet our owner is out there looking for us with tears running down his face. Sounds horrible. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Now let's go. Let's fix this mess. I'm tired of sleeping on the side of the road in constant fear. It'd be great to have Scarlett's help right now. And the risk of getting caught to hell and back. You can do that if you want, but count me out. Stop whining. I'll see what I can do. Meanwhile, you guys can go find a place to rest. Nico glanced out the window. The sun has all vanished, and even the last few birds have stopped chirping by now. The store manager will return soon. You should be careful. After the way I kicked his ass yesterday, I doubt the store manager would be too pleased to see us again. It's not your fault, so don't blame yourself. Anyway, we can't let this go. Let's do it as planned and investigate further. Now that we know how shady that place's background is, we have all the reason to keep digging. How many times has it been here now? The question makes Nico feel like they're walking right back into a recurring bad dream. The last 2 days have made a few things clear, some of which were very oddly expected. However, Nico can't help but feel that for every answer they find, 2 more questions pop up. The mysteries just keep on coming. Drifting thoughts won't do her any good. At this point, she can't afford to let her mind wander. Not right now. At the factory, danger can lurk around any corner. She just needs to have razor-sharp focus. Following Nico's cautious pace, the group steps into the abandoned factory once again. However, things seem a little different today. Hey, what's this all about? 2 large, imposing dogs stand guard in the room. They don't attempt to hide themselves, opting instead to stand proud as if to assert their dominance of the room and mark it as their domain. So they found out. Do you think this has anything to do with, that man we saw yesterday? Who knows? If that's the case, he's being overcautious. Even though he didn't even spot us. Can you think of another way for us to get inside? We could try to circle around the building, although I don't know if yet another detour is the smartest choice. Let's not think about it too much. Let's just do it. I think I have an idea that could work, but that's pretty bold. I wouldn't have expected something like this coming from you. I'm sorry, but I don't think I can make that jump. It's okay. As long as they all work together, just give it your all. Time to man up. Okay then, let's proceed as planned. Right, we've got this. I'm sorry, you're only on move? We're making a save file, because there's no way I'm doing this right. There's not a chance. Make what jump? I mean, surely I can jump over the wall, so it's gotta be into the electric fence, but the lights are off. I can't move. Oh. I got hit A. I was meant to prepare myself for a puzzle, and it was just hit the A button. Good God, alright. Hey, dummy, watch this. You idiot. Take a look at this. This is our chance. Hurry up. Okay. What a pain in the ass this guy is. Hurry, jump. Okay, ready? Oh. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I'm jumping! Slowly update Nico and attempt to hit switch. Bryce turns the room once more, and with the sound of anguish barking in the distance. The barking lasts a few seconds and then subsides. Now let's go back and take a look. Are you guys okay? 5 seconds later, things ended badly. That was a close call. Lucky for us, those big guys can't jump at all that well. Good. Now the question remains is how to get you two down from there. Don't worry. That's easy. Just like this. Hugging the wall, Zack and Justin leap over the fence and manage a soft landing on the ground. Ouch, I think I scorched my tail a little. By the way, check this out. I found a key up there. No idea what it's for. What's for, though? What it's for, though? Maybe scan for the locker next door? That'd be a coincidence if I ever seen one. Let's go. We need to focus on the task at hand. We can come back for it if we need. Alright, what now? If there's nothing else you want to check out, we just go ahead downstairs. Honestly, we really should get this over as soon as we can. I have a bad feeling that there's trouble brewing. Where to next? She said downstairs, right? So we're on the 3rd floor. I'll just get the, case files. No, I can't do that right now, okay. I mean, let's start the first room. Wait, first room. You've already seen that notice. I thought we already had that key. We have to go back to check it out. I thought we already had that key. I was gonna... Oh, whatever, alright. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Well, looks like we have no choice but to check out that locker. Have fun to try the key you just found? Let's see, it seems to fit. By down the key, Justin inserts it into the lock and twists his neck in order to turn open the locker. There's a tattered old book of notes said locker. The structure and origin of time is written in crooked letters. Looks like even a blind cat finds an mouse toy every now and then, huh? I wouldn't describe myself like that, but I guess we did stumble upon something important here. Solid team effort. We can't take the book with us at the moment. Let's come back here for it once we're in our normal bodies. Let's hope we get that chance. Okay, I want to read this note here. So I didn't get to read this before. The notes on all reads: 6 things prohibited during evacuation. 1. You are prohibited from carrying any factory items and goods outside with you. Keep a watchful eye and report comrades who break this rule to the Security Bureau immediately. Those caught in the act or aiding it indirectly will face severe punishments. 2. Do not discuss factory matters outside the factory. Register with your team as soon as possible and sign up for the special training. Take the special train off the premises. What? Whatever. Report comrades who fail to do so to the Security Bureau immediately. Those failing to do so will face severe punishments. 3. Do not spread rumors. Always follow the code of confidentiality. Only act in compliance of the rules of the Security Bureau and refrain from causing trouble. If friends or relatives start making inquiries, report the matter to the Security Bureau immediately. 4. You are prohibited from avoiding the mandatory physical examination. Proceed to the designated area with haste. Follow the orders of the doctor and behave in strict accordance with the rules established by the Security Bureau. Do not stay in the factory in your private time. Leave the factory at the assigned time. The basement is sealed off. Do not proceed past the electronic code-protected door. Loss of important property is to be reported to the Security Bureau immediately. Never speak up against or contradict comrades in the Security Bureau. Their responsibilities during this evacuation are an important task that affect the whole country. Your cooperation and understanding is required. We are not responsible for the consequences of any potential violations. Alright, cool. Alright. Let's go back to the third, because I believe that's where the combination lock was. Do we need to turn on the power first, though? Oh, close look reveals the store has its own separate power supply. The door is still closed, even if we pull the switch. Which password should they enter? Oh, I can't look up the case files? I can't look at the case files. There's not a case files button. I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll start at the 4, but, like... I would love to actually confirm that. But we're gonna try the one with the 4. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, it's this room. Yeah, why can't they pull the case files? Whew, finally. With renewed vigor and a sense of courage, they ventured into the depths of an unknown hallway. It is dark, the only source of light being the greenish-white hue of the emergency lights. All the papers are plastered across the walls, along with some graffiti. All of it is somewhat obscured by the dark. The room seems to have been repurposed, and somebody definitely did their best to try to preserve the place. But judging from the age of newspapers, it seems to have been a long time ago. At the light at the end of the hallway, it draws closer. The tension slowly reaches new heights. All of them are nervous, rightfully so. That's a screenshot. What is this? What they see in front of them, in combination with their pre-existing suspicions, paralyzes them on the spot. The entire floor has the classic layout of a circus. A cage-like structure takes up the center stage. Its iron frame and the central platforms are both in shambles. The iron pillars on the platform reach all the way up to the ceiling. The middle section of the pillars is covered in a protective layer made of leather. Huge iron chains are dangling from above, emitting metallic, loud sounds. Structures such as this one are usually designed in a way that makes them easy to disassemble for traveling purposes. The design of this place, however, seems utterly different. The leftover equipment and cluttered tables and chairs have been moved from the original location, silently telling the story of the people who must have performed here in the past. Upon closer inspection, the structure of the auditorium seems very impractical. Everything is simply bizarre and out of place. Unsettling design alone is enough to creep out the cats. But what really stops them in their tracks is what's going on inside. There are people. Lots of them. And all of them are covered in wounds and scratches of varying sizes. Old and recent marks cover their bodies. Their eyes have all but lost their spark, as if they were already at death's doorstep. Their facial expressions are eerily distorted. Their eyes squeezed together, their smiles contorted. They are not in control of themselves. They're panting, out of breath from dodging things that are being thrown at them by the audience. They are trembling and staggering around, while shadowy figures are wielding what appear to be whips. Looking at their sadistic grimaces and upturned mouths, it is obvious that they don't care if they actually hurt their target or not. Whatever circus is supposed to be, the performance is terrible to watch. That's just sick. Zack quietly mumbles to himself and rubs his paws together. This is the type of injustice that he cannot just watch while sitting idly by. Zack, wait. Now's not the right time. Control yourself. You expect me just to sit back and do nothing? No, of course not. It's just... listen to her, Zack. We can't do anything right now. Does you guys have a heart? Can't you see this leaves our suffering? I know, Zack, but... But what? What's your excuse? There's more to it. Calm down, I'll show you. Just points his paw. The others squint and watch. There's something seriously twisted going on here. The movements of both people with the whips, as well as those of the ones being hit, seem stuffed and awkward. The whips often get stuck in the clutter and debris, and many of the people wielding them are hitting themselves by accident. Thrown objects often miss their target, landing on the dirty, cluttered ground instead. The people serving as animals aren't moving around normally, either. The way they stiflingly try to dodge and roll around helplessly on the ground makes it seem as if they're moving in slow motion. Both parties are staying more injuries by the second, further amplified by their absolved disregard for their own physical well-being. I see. Not a soul in this place is normal. The perpetrators and the victims are in the exact same situation. Those people, what the hell happened to them? The only positive thing I can think of right now is that this could mean that our bodies are still intact and alive. Probably jumped around somewhere. You mean this guy jumping around? Please don't tell me that's true. What do we do now? Some of the people are clapping their hands and cheering. Probably solely because of the fact that they're not the ones being beaten. Let's not get too close. We should keep our distance. There's a side path we can use. Let's ignore it for now and move on. The door on the other side of the circus is still open. A blurry, stained sign is barely hanging on the wall. Must have dozens of them here. Those bastards. Once I have my body back, I'll kick their ass. Don't know why he turned British all of a sudden, but that's his new voice. Alright. They've already been bad enough already, don't you think? Well, yeah, I guess, but someone has to pay. We have no idea who's pulling the strings, let alone what they look like. Let's not get ahead of ourselves yet. Not only that, it's next to impossible to save someone when their body is not their own. Nico is well aware of that. But she is plagued by enough worries as it is, which is why she lets Justin do the talking. With Justin leading them, the cats move ahead, stay in the shadows and out of sight. People playing the role of the animals in the streets of permits start to catch on to this new scent. Some of them ignore it altogether, others start screaming as loud as they can. The trainers don't care at all. Some of them crack their whips even harder, much angrier than before. All of this is insane. They successfully manage to disappear through the door, leaving no trace that they were ever there. The antagonized screams and the cracking whips continue without interruption. Why haven't they come back yet? You can at least call me when you get the chance. Alright, just make me wait. I managed to get the info you asked me about yesterday. It took longer because my source kept stalling. I only just received the reply. You'll have to read the email for more details, but I guess still in the shop? What's the matter? I'm on my way to me right now. We can talk afterwards. Did I even contact you yesterday? Forget about it, doesn't matter now. Time to take a close look at this. Mailbox, Scarlet, latest news. Oh, sure enough, there it is. Notice about the emergency meeting regards the permanent suspension of all activities at the number 11 tea factory. Notice about an emergency meeting regarding the establishment of a hidden isolation zone around the number 11 tea factory. Notice about the secret follow-up projects at the number 11 tea factory. Employer placement and reemployment program research. Invitation of linguistic experts from the Academy of Sciences. What is all of this? Notice about the research meeting and the adjustment of the special confidentiality clauses of the number 11 tea factory. Wait a second. Is this saying this is all sponsored by the Security Bureau? What am I looking at here? What the hell is all this? The exit doesn't seem to lead them directly to another room. It turns and bends in strange ways and leads straight down instead. They're caught off guard. The architecture doesn't make any sense. Though, what they see unfolding for them after passing through this weird hallway is what really catches their attention. Cables and wires on the floor make it look like yet another workshop in the TVs were once produced. The equipment, however, is gone, and the boxes with unknown contents are stacked up along the edges of the room. There are no lights in the ceiling. The only source of the light is a large machine. The white shine of many screens illuminate the room, all of them displaying grainy, flickering static. Just doesn't understand why the strange images flicker on the screen could possibly mean. They kept changing between white and black noise, only flashing a little bit from time to time. Whenever an image flashes, the whole machine makes a buzzing sound, which is pure torture to the cat's ears. Countless cables are hanging between the strange machine and the wall, turning the room into a whole net of twisted wires. They aren't simply loosely connected wires, but rather fixed cables. Huge yellowish-green bags of cloth are hung up on them, dangling from the ceiling. The bags are being tightened by the sheer fact of being suspended in the air, revealing an outline that hints at their contents. Although he preferred not to think this way, the first thing that comes to mind is that it really does look as if human bodies... There's a color there? Oh, so it started the color human bodies. Okay. However, human bodies have been wrapped and strung up in these bags. But things might get even worse. The machine is the only thing that works in this factory. It's clearly something more than just a bunch of TVs stacked on top of each other. A mere glance at it is enough to fry Justin's poor small cat brain. His mind is blown. That reason for that is simple. There, right there. That's a good screenshot. Alright. Confronting his own self is enough to make his fragile mind crumble to pieces. All of a sudden, he can no longer understand what his friend is saying. The words are nothing more than a tumble of sounds that he can't decipher. Meow, meow, meow. Is that just cat speech? Is that really talking? Why don't you talk like normal people? Wait, what am I talking about? How's it possible? Who am I? What are they? Why am I a cat? Why am I not a cat? And since when do cats... Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. A lot of meows. Meowing, meow, 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 meow. Who is that? The cat's full attention instantly focused on the mysterious pitch voice. Although many living things are roaming around this building, the first time they hear a human voice, who is that? The words are reassuring and concerning at the same time. Zack is the first to regain his composure, intrigued to take a step forward to investigate the source of the voice. The others follow, worried about falling behind and being left alone. They all poke their heads out of the shadows and take a look around. This isn't good. Not at all. What Justin sees far surpassing anything that his imagination could have ever come up with. Its long hair is the only thing that doesn't instantly conjure up a feeling of disgust. Its mouth protrudes, and its nose and eyes are obscured by shadow. Although its facial features are similar to others commonly found in nature, the combination of all of it looks almost abstract. That makes sense. Its body is slightly hunched over, crouched down while its limbs touch the ground. Its appearance doesn't differ all that much from a wild dog. Yet, still, the structure of its hind legs and claws are different from any other ordinary animal. Thick fur covers its body. Sharp and thick nails scrape the floor, extending from its palms. The sound is highly unpleasant, resembling a meat hook being dragged across the hard ground. Nothing fits together. It's a wildly mixed and matched appearance that doesn't make any sense. No matter which way you look at it, Salil stares at its eyes and tries to retreat, doing her best to move away despite Justin and Nico pushing and shoving behind her. Who is this? All it does is mumble that question while staring at the entrance. Just what is that thing? I don't know. It's not like any animal I know. Hey, keep it together. You stay calm. This is the worst possible scenario. How's the music loud? Even Justin can't help but be affected by the overwhelming sensation of fear. Sure, this isn't the first time they're facing a strange creature, but getting used to it is nothing more than a pie tree. It'll never feel normal, and the frail human mind is unable to get used to a normal situation like this. Just wish there was something to be different, but the fundamental workings of the mind are set in stone. He tries to maintain some control of the situation. He extends his paw to cover Zack's mouth and stop talking, but difference in size makes his kind of futile. Damn it, be quiet. Can't you just at least try to keep low profile for once? Oh, what did you say? Damn it, why us? We need more time to think. What is this? What is this? What is this? Store manager, Scarlet? Anyone? Help? Just can barely react. He doesn't know why Nico has stolen and started screaming, but something is screaming towards them fast enough so that he can make out all of its outlines. It reaches them before Nico has finished screaming. A critical look like this, Justin instinctively steps in front of Salil and Nico to protect them. His back arched, though, in a large part due to his feline instincts. He knows deep down that his posture will make no difference whatsoever. The difference in the size is enormous, like a fully grown lion towering over a newborn cub. Its strong arms are big enough to simply squish the cat. Its creature lowers its head, staring at the cats, who are still in shock and frozen in place. in their now useless hiding spot. One by one, it observes them from head to toe, coming so close that they can feel its steamy breath, and then speaks. Meow. Where is Mommy? Just can't believe his ears. Why would it say that? What is the meaning of this? It's not as if he was prepared for things to take a strange turn, especially in light of the fact that being turned into a cat is already more bizarre enough to begin with. Still, this is different from what he anticipated. He gulps and musters up all his courage to keep standing on all fours, really drags friend to safety. Alright, listen closely. I'm gonna count to 3. Then we're gonna make a run for it. Got it? 3, 2, 1. Wait. Wait. Is that blue? Nico's question visibly shakes the creature. It pulls back for a second and opens its eyes wide. Then it moves its head down towards the cat again. This time, it leaves its nose, a careful, gentle movement. Its strange voice sounds pained and filled with grief. Though Justin can't understand all the emotions behind it, it's clear to him that there is no sign of hostility there. It carefully extends one of its front paws and slowly inches closer towards Nico. Nico's ears wiggle, and she starts to initiate a peaceful and gentle gesture in return. The two animals are about to connect on an emotional level without a single word. Who's there? This is the second human voice they heard today. Oh, it's listening. The hoarse, thick voice comes to their ears, this time distinctly masculine. It is more fluent and faster than the abrupt and somewhat rusty pronunciations of the creature. It's coming from somewhere, and at the other end of the room, loud and imitating. The voice reminds Justin of something dangerous. Rats. Something is approaching, but there are no footsteps to be heard. There's something else in their place. Bricks. Watch out. More bricks follow, along with a feel around objects. Rats. Rats. Get out of there. Rats. Get out of there. I can't do this voice. Alright. A barrage of clutter and debris flies towards the cats. No. Don't. Want to. Long-haired creature twists and turns its body to shield the helpless cats from the onslaught. It doesn't manage to maintain this defensive position for long before having to raise its front legs to step back. Only then does Justin notice the sturdier collar around its neck, attached to a heavy chain. Rats, show yourself. Get out of here, rats. Rats. This is bad. Run? What? Just run! That's not his voice. Oh well. They all scamper away. None of them dare turn around, with what a chaotic sound still raging behind them. Luckily, the throws aimed at them aren't very accurate. The objects are small, and the velocity is enough to turn them into deadly projectiles that would be lethal to a cat upon impact. Why is this happening? Justin's thoughts start going berserk. But somehow, that is the only question on his stressed mind right now. Although the situation is hard for him, someone else is much far worse off than him. Nico? Only now it's just realized that Nico has fallen behind somehow. She's in a bad spot. Having scared and imitated from the beginning, her situation is growing more dire by the second. To make matters worse, the pursuer seems to have caught onto its weakness. Rats! Filthy rats! Nico! This time, the long-haired creature rushes toward Nico, blocking a brick from flying straight at her at the very last second. The impact makes the creature cry out in pain, something that only seems to have made the attack even angrier. Get back here! Yanking the chain once more, the attacker forcefully pulls the creature back. Zack makes good use of the opportunity to run up to Nico, slapping her on the head with his paw. the hell's wrong with you? Stop messing around. Let's get out of here. Zack yells and grabs Nico's neck with his mouth, dragging her in a direction of the others. The guys have no idea what's going on behind their backs. Then, they're gone. That guy, it's definitely him. Zack keeps repeating those words, despite Justin's multiple attempts to calm him down. Still doesn't understand why Justin would have to stop Zack. Though he may be a fool, he's right about 10% of the time. In this case, everyone else agrees with him. They're probably just scared of accepting the reality of the situation. Save your strength, Zack. There's no use in thinking about it too much right now. Thinking? Who's saying about thinking? I'm freaking out! Never mind. Forget I said anything. There's no way this is gonna end well. Even as a cat, the hopelessness on Justin's face is as clear as day. Still can understand how Justin must feel. After all, they've seen who knows how many more victims there are, how their own bodies are being treated right at this very moment. There's that very bizarre machine in the creature. What could a small cat possibly do to change this situation? Determined to steer the conversation in a more productive direction, just turns to take a look at Nico. Nico, what was it that made you call that chimera blue? Call it a hunch or an instinct, but why call it chimera? Just a random thought I had. Don't you think it looks like a bunch of different animals mixed together? Yeah, I see what you mean. The way it's moving all fours really looked unnatural still. You calling that game of the creeps? Guys, what's chimera? For real? If you don't know how to read, I know you don't know how to read, but don't you guys play video games? It's a creature from ancient mythology. Its body is a combination of a lion, a goat, and a serpent. Obviously that isn't the case with the thing we saw. I was just making an analogy. Cool, thanks for the lesson, nerd. Well, can't say that I've ever seen an animal that strange before. Anyway, let's get back to your question. I got the idea of calling it out to it because it showed reaction to our meows. Wait, was it because of what I said? That was worth taking, right? Sometimes you have to make a gamble. Though I kinda wish we'd been wrong. Poor thing. So this really is Scarlet's cat? Let's give that guy a taste of his own medicine. You saw him yanking on Blue's chain, right? Right. If we go back and rescue Blue, chances are we will run to that guy again. Also, I know that while he's guarding that weird machine, we won't have a chance to investigate further. So you have any idea how you should approach this? About how to sneak up on him? Not a bad idea in itself, but even if we can sneak up on him, what then? There's not a lot we could do. We're not much stronger than the newborn babies. What makes you think we're all so weak? We won't know until we give it a try. Look, Zack, it's simple. If we mess up, we're dead. End of story. Damn it. I guess so. We're no fighters, that's for sure. We'll have to figure out what his weaknesses are. Fact is, if we don't plan this carefully, we're all gonna die a painful and horrible death. I think I speak for all of us, even more for our adventurous members, when I say we don't want that. Yeah, we're on the same page, but how could we possibly find out what his weaknesses are? Or, to phrase it differently, do we even know what that guy is? Well... Slows her head, and then thought scratches her ears and paws. She's always open to the ideas and thoughts of her friends, but that doesn't mean she won't come and try something herself. Just Nico both seem slightly rational in their thinking. Maybe because of her strange lilac grass introduced during back then, Scylla's thoughts are a lot clearer now, making it easier for her to remain calm in this situation. Let's see... I think we've seen something... somewhere... This time, it's Sleel to provide the answers. I have no bloody idea. The question is, Who is responsible for all this? Who is the owner of the factory? Because we got Blue's information, I'm gonna add Blue to this. I have no idea if that's gonna be relevant or not. Outside of that, the circus seems relevant. A wicked circus. All right. Who would own this factory? By no means abandoned, but that tells who owns it, right? That's the passcode. That's the note I wanted from before, but... yeah, I remember the 403, but... And that was the only 4 option. Okay. I'm looking for something that has anything to do with, the Security Bureau. But nothing seems to. Which is highly annoying. I feel like the circus has something to do with this. I just don't know if it's in the poster itself or the Wicked Circus. In the final words of a group of factory employees written on the back of it, they were locked in a room, something they created, and were on the verge of starving to death. I'll click that one, because that might be relevant. Outside of that, I have no idea. So our bodies were strung up around the device and appears to have been dead for a while. I keep wanting to go back to energy consumption. But that doesn't tell us who owns the factory, because it doesn't have anything to do with the Security Bureau. Even though the Security Bureau obviously has to be paying for it, because who else literally could? Same with that one. It could be note 3, I guess, but I don't like note 3 there. Security note. instrument's purpose clearly was to display pictures. Countless cables were woven around it like spider webs. It doesn't tell us who's responsible for it, though, does it? Still energy consumption. Whatever. I know it's wrong, but why is it wrong? That's not enough to prove the point. It's time to think. Physical evidence is one form of proof. The other things that they can provide of evidence of what happened, that must be examined carefully. You have found a most unusual piece of machinery, and seems to be directly connected to everything. The mysterious device? No? Okay. Wait, that was different. I think I like circus poster and mysterious device here. So we had blue is missing. Which I added because I know what to add, but I don't think that's gonna be right, is it? Because whilst blue is that animal thing, there wouldn't be an owner. It's the only living thing other than wild dogs that isn't restrained. This isn't gonna be right, but we can always just skip back to here when this is wrong. Today's owner of the factory. Who owns the factory? Today's owner of the factory. Who's responsible for this? Today's owner of the factory. What does that... I guess let's listen to Sulu's explanation, because I'm just solving these puzzles and I don't understand how I'm solving them. Alright. What if it's just the victim too? Sorry, what did you say? I mean, you remember the circus poster just found, right? On top of that, Nico found some rumors about the child abduction and a strange circus. And all of it leads back to this place. I'm still unsure about the child abduction thing, but we have all seen the circus part with our own eyes. That much is true. Yeah, I'm straight. I'll be the first to admit that stopped performance. I could just sit there again. What bothers me is that what we found is mostly written on the back of the poster. It mentioned an accident prior to us being locked inside. Someone let those people nearly starve to death on purpose, taking them away one after the other. But we didn't even see anybody in the room, which means that the person who wrote down the back of the poster has gotten taken away too. Or they, well... Granted, the writing on the poster only gave us some information, but think about it. We've probably seen anything that had been written down with our own eyes already. You mean, whoever locked those people up, and what they were taken away for. Right, think about it. Someone who's on the brink of starving to death has no neat way of fighting back. That means the things written on the poster were made to last, in hope that someone else would find them. Our best chance to look for whoever has the most freedom around this place, as well as their counterpart, and the person most in the worst possible condition. I think Nico's right. That's our best bet. The person who, with the most freedom, would that be that man? For sure, the wild guard dog too. But I don't think a dog could have been locked up in a bunch of people. And the worst possible condition, it's gotta be the thing we saw in the basement. I know it must be the strange TV piles for, or else it would have been in such a hurry to get us out of the room. I doubt it knows how to operate such machinery. It didn't seem capable of that, or maybe it saw someone once, and now simply is mimicking their behavior? You mean the guy was actually an animal that was brought in from the circus and got in his body by accident? And then he locked everyone up and threw him in a cage? Hey Nico, you mentioned some very smart monkeys being a part of that circus entourage. Would wonder if the group of people somehow managed to replace the monkey's brain with the humans, and they train it to make money? It does make sense in that context, but it sounds awful. Okay, slow down. So, the monkey was the guy who we saw in the room? That seems most likely. Monkeys are already smarter than the average to begin with, put in a human body, and the likelihood of such behavior gets amplified even further. Oh shoot, that sounds like the shoddiest horror movie script ever written. It's insane. Sorry. Alright. Let's be honest. What does insane even mean anymore? Nobody would ever have thought it possible to transfer a human to an animal's body, and look at us now. Going with that explanation, we still don't know why the power's on in that place, but it at least explains the condition it's in. How do we explain the why? Wouldn't it be safer and more appropriate for it to leave the factory and get away with it from that place? Especially now, with a functioning body. I guess that's because it thinks that's not enough. Oh, there's more. God, okay. Even after escape to freedom, survivors of the circus didn't escape. Why would they stay in that abandoned factory? What caused the tragedy? I mean... if there's a place to add a conclusion, it'd be this. I like a wicked circus here. And outside of that, I have no idea. Note 3? Maybe. Blue's missing? I don't think Blue's missing. It could be that mod is a suspicious city, but I doubt it. The investigation team... might the notes in the factory give me assume that these occurrences are related to the experience being conducted in the factory. I don't like two conclusions. We can make it three. Let's try it. Oh my god, we got one first try. Oh, finally. Blind Revenge. Not the takeaway I was gonna guess, but I at least knew the piece of evidence, and that's all I care about. Revenge. Now that's where I thought I'd never associate with a monkey. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. Even regular circuses get a huge amount of complaints by animal protection groups. This one is far from regular, so we have to assume that the condition of those animals were kept the condition those animals kept were kept under were horrible. I would say kept under horrible conditions, but you know, we can get the extra to be verb. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. How can anybody else be so heartless? Yeah, I just want to make sure I didn't misread anybody. I didn't. Sit in the front row, entertained by the suffering animals. If I had the chance to get them a taste of our medicine, I would take it. That's for damn sure. Forced transfer theroentropy, huh? You're my friends here, not an interview with a science journal, you fucker. I love how I just read smart words to her. Like, I just feel like it fits her personality. But it probably didn't know exactly how it all worked. And it only thought of copying everything that they did themselves as well. And we could see how that ended. Those affected were simply put in a circus cage. That would clear up who and the replacement animals actually are. That's was the idea, to make the prosecutors suffer the same way they did. Yet in the end, it led to suffering of innocent animals. A twisted sort of irony, isn't it? Those dogs we encountered. Do you think we should try talking to them again? To be honest, I don't know if it's gonna work. We're cats. We don't even speak, let alone understand their language. We know we know now that he's just an animal at heart. We can't outsmart him if we all win, and we all win if we work together. Zack stomps on the floor to show him his determination. And if we're together enough, we can add other ways of attack in the mix. You remember those places upstairs where the electricity's on, right? Let's split up and use that to advantage. We can weaponize the electricity. Electrocution? Being pretty heartless sometimes. Well, it's a risky plan, but considering our physical disadvantage, it seems like our best course of action. Okay then, what do y'all say? Are you in out? We may not get another chance if we mess this up. If we want to go through this, we need to start preparing right now. Stand there ahead, stand there ahead, Sand giving up. Let's do it. These words, just wags tail and moves away. Nika turns around and looks straight into Slow's eyes. It's as if she's looking straight through her and direct into her heart. What's wrong, Nico? It's nothing. What a bunch of weirdos. But they're friends, right? They're good people. Yeah, that's not what I meant. What I meant was that there are times where everyone can help and be useful, and of course, that includes you. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for everything. Let's go. Zack follows yells quickly in order to keep up with them, leaving Salil behind with a big, happy smile on her face. I actually helped. Salil decided to stay his moment of blissful joy just a bit longer. They eventually returned to the factory's first floor. Nico and Salil opt for a different path, heading off somewhere else. Two men in the group exchange quiet small talk, careful not to be overheard. So, what's it take? What do you think was planned? There's a lot of risk involved, but considering our current bodies, I think it's the only option we have that gives us a fighting chance. I see, glad you're on board, Justin. It's not just me, we're all on board. Have a little more faith in yourself, okay? Alright. Justin knows he's lying. Nico secretly objected to the whole plan before Salil caught up with her. Before Salil and Zach caught up with her. Justin obviously harbors similar thoughts, but he just keeps them to himself. Salil and Zach both know nothing about that. Even though things about to be serious, Justin can't help but smirk a little as he remembers Nico's smug expression. Hey Zach. Yeah, what's up? Let's go for a drink when we get our bodies back. I thought you were a man of the law. I guess that's a minor. But alright. I'll have a drink with you, that's fine by me. The ladies can have orange juice. Sure you're okay with that? I repeated a year at school, you know. I don't feel like a minor anyway. What, with my life being what it is and all. What gave you the idea of having a drink in the first place? Nothing specific, just wanted to celebrate when it's all over. Yeah, cheer up. You'll get your drink soon. Things are about to go down. Right about that. Justin slowly stops his pause. As a matter of fact, it looks like the show's already started. Going to Metal Locker is incredibly difficult. He feels as if every single one of his muscle fibers is being torn apart. It's already a difficult enough task for someone with condition, and 100-fold so for a massively malnourished body on the brink of starvation. The food they left behind was limited, and most of it has long since expired. The pain in his stomach has intensified to an unbearable degree. The thrill of revenge drives him, but there is no other price to pay. Just like his former master, he shows no mercy. The target is a lot more agile than anticipated. More so than the other stray cats so far. With what his stamina and endurance continually getting worse, he started compensating for that by laying out more traps out of the building. Humans are such troublesome creatures. He has been watching and learning for 3 years. He still can't help but admit his skills can just far outweigh theirs. But none of that matters now. All of this is his territory. He leaps and tries to drive that pesky cat in his direction he wants to go. He succeeds, and the screaming cat flickers his tail and realizes no way to escape. He's annoyed by the light. The contraption he put together out on the TV emits an irritating bright white light, but it doesn't look the way he intended. It is a far cry from the magical machine downstairs. He has gone to great lengths to make the place resemble from the one from his memories. The chairs in the cage are very much improvised versions and not close enough to the originals, but he'll have to make do with it for now. At least, that's enough for him to torture them. Enough to make these animals feel the pain they deserve. He keeps them locked up further upstairs, taking them down in turns. He looks on the animal's face when they see their beaten and abused former human shells fill him with satisfaction. It doesn't matter to him that they are now in an animal body. An innocent, needlessly suffering, wholly and uninvolved, a human being needs to suffer. That is it. He knows deep down there is something strange about that thought, but his drive is enough to push these thoughts aside. To him, a cat is still a person. As for the other three, catch them. Let them watch their helpless human bodies be beaten to a pulp. Let them jump through the rings of fire. He doesn't actually have means to get the rings of fire, but the rabid mad dogs will do just fine. Whatever means of punishment is available, he'll take it. Make them suffer. All of them will. Regains the focus after clouding his mind with the thoughts of blood and vengeance. He notices that there is that the room seems strangely empty. He is nearly knocked over by the crowd rushing towards the cages. Kill my voice. Oh my god, alright. He roars, shouts, screaming yellers that fall on deaf ears. Fists, feet, and teeth bear down on him. It doesn't take long for his primal instincts to kick in. He lashes out, swinging his fists, kicking out with his legs. He slams his attackers to the ground, leaving them writhing in the pain on the floor. For a moment, everything about him reverts to his old self, memories of life in the jungle. A punch, a kick, another punch, a kick to the head follows. This is gonna hurt. It doesn't matter. Pay them back for everything they did. A bite. That can't go unpunished. That should be enough. The chaos ends. Though because of the adrenaline, there's no telling how long the fight actually took. He feels pain in his heaving chest. A couple of blows directly hit his ribs, making it hard to breathe. His eyes are bruised and swollen, and something about his nose feels off. At least there's no blood covering his nose yet, though he would be surprised if the bleeding started any minute now. Those cats have to pay for what they've done. He breathes heavy as he stomps through his circus and makes his way upstairs, just with a big few angry steps. Die! He should move too hastily. It's the same trap that he designed from memory and hooked up electricity himself. A feat he is proud of to this day, and a trap that's proven more useful than once. However, he isn't the one who placed the trap right here in the entrance. Humans. Such a troublesome species. The feeling of numbness that he still fears to this day has suddenly returned to haunt him. His blood is boiling, quite literally so. The stench of scorching coming from his body is growing ever stronger. He can't help but think that in his old body, the stench would have been far worse, since his current one is covered in a lot less hair. The pain is nearly bad enough to render him unconscious, the heartbeat becoming more regular, and he's sweating profusely. Close to blacking out, he can see a light approaching him. Though in his mind it's not the sharpest, even he can tell that something is seriously wrong. He reaches out with his trembling hands to unlock the dull bite of mechanism he built himself. At this point, he's incredibly thankful that he was unable to come up with a sharper design. His hands are numb, yet he is more aware than ever of his limbs. With this sensation, he can feel his whole body. He understands exactly what's happening. He's going to die soon. He must get another body. The basement. That thing. Driven by no other thought, he kicks the rusty lamp of metal away and crawls back into the hallway. In about 20 seconds, the man who was nearly burnt to a crisp manages to retreat back to the room. Just can't help but wonder just how strong his will to live must be to pull that off. Just some worries regarding the plan were never about the actual effectiveness of the trap, but more so about whether their opponent would actually fall for it. If you don't have enough power as a cat, why not use something specific designed for humans? If the trap you have personally had the misfortune of experiencing against your opponent, just his job was to help Zack carry the trap and connect to the power supply. Afterwards, he returned to the basement in hopes that Nico and Steele could successfully free the animals that are being kept there. The first step, that was the first step of the plan. Even though everything pretty much went that way, he would never have predicted things to unfold the way they did. He intended to neutralize their opponent, then lure Blue and their old selves away from the basement. giving them ample time to study the weird machine. Instead, they have to follow their retreating opponent back there. Their huge, angry, almost burnt to a crisp opponent is crouching down next to the machine, and they are still trapped in their furry, weak little bodies. Also, Blue is still in the room, just as Nico figured out the mechanism behind the collar's lock. The boat came back, and the cats had to retreat back into the shadows. Jeez, he's a tough one, gotta give him that. Just sees his friends emerging, and he can hear Zack's mumbling to himself from the distance. He ignores Zack and instead focuses his attention on Nico. Nico quietly peeks out from around the corner and extends a paw towards Justin. It's hard for him to understand what she's trying to tell him, and he carefully observes the direction her paw is pointing in. He stops at the densely packed cables on the floor. It's easy to see their opponent is injured and vulnerable right now. If they want to act, now's the time. But taking the initiative is still a little too... Hell yeah. Justin quickly regains his focus and is already on the move again. The skinny human pulls the cable from the machine and ties it around his neck, then does the same to Blue. What follows is an unexpected effect. The TVs stack on top of each other suddenly and glow brightly, and the strange image starts flashing on the screens. Justin can see all sorts of stories play out in front of him, reflected in his wide eyes. They don't seem in chronological order, but there is a stick to them. Because of the way TVs are arranged, Justin can differentiate between the 2 points of view. One struggling to survive the harsh conditions of the circus, and the other one ripped away from a warm home. 2 different cases of misfortune, yet the pain they share is similar. Justin even sees a moment where 2 stories directly intersect one another. A big pair of hands grabbing it, drawing away from the light. The same thing happens twice, from a different perspective. He also sees the place that seems oddly familiar. A mess of clutter and piled items of clothing everywhere. A woman with the short, dark red hair is in the room, and although she's well dressed, the clutter and chaos show her true personality. The instant she sees Scarlet, Justin begins to understand, at least vaguely, what is happening. If they intervene, her beloved Blue, her only family, will be thrust into a body with no future, never to be seen again. Go cut the wires! Nico jumps up and throws herself into the frail before Justin can react. She runs up to the tangled cables like machine. What follows is a dull sound of crunching and tearing. What the hell's your plan here? Don't just stand there. Find a way to turn this stupid thing off. Nico drags one of the bundles of cables across the ground and tugs as hard as she can. Her efforts doesn't seem to make much of a difference. For a cat, it's next to impossible to cut through plastic as hard and thick as this. Still, as Nico gives it her all, a spark comes from the device and starts buzzing. Suddenly, Justin understands Nico's plan. He follows her example, looking for cables to tug at. Most cables look identical to the untrained eye. He tries to pull on a few of them, but there are no sparks to be seen, and the cables aren't coming loose at all. Clearly, none of the cables are hooked up to the machine. Maybe altercations were made at some point. A lot of cables seem redundant, relics in the past, that won't be of any help right now. Huh? Is this the right one? No, I think the one over there looks a little looser. Aren't they both on the same sides? Zack feels around with the cables surrounding him, but to no avail. Salil appears to be just lost as Zack, and he even manages to nearly get herself and take on the cables. Nico's an expert at this, having spent her entire childhood taken with tech and appliances. Her experience is useful in this case, but unfortunately, she's the only one in the group who cannot make sense of this. The Monkey Man and Blue are still undergoing the procedure. Justin looks on in disgust, wanting to stop as soon as possible. But how to interrupt this? What to do? I get it now. As Justin scratches her ears in fierce concentration, Nico exclaims loudly once again. She follows one cable in particular to the switchboard in the corner of the room and gets it to work. 3 wires of protection, how cunning. No wonder all that binding and nulling wouldn't work. How are we doing over there? Get ready, I'm gonna plug 3 wires up here. See if that does the trick. Nico seems rather nervous, and her meow is carrying a trembling in our tone. However, odd noises caused by her tinkering soon indicate that she's making progress. The lights in her flicker, and the ever-growing feeling of uneasiness rising within Justin reaches new heights. Hey, are you sure about this? Stop whining already, just watch. I'm pulling. Here we go. This time, her actions yield results. A huge flash of light erupts a thud and floods the room, then disappears as if nothing ever happened. It looks like this thing might have gone a little too well. Same odd occurrence repeats itself, and again for a short moment, there appears to be some sort of interference with the strange machine, causing both parties connected to a great deal of disorientation. The wicked man's expression is horrifyingly grotesque, and he is obviously still somewhere else with his mind, but at least he's displaying some sort of reaction. Him doing so is both good and bad. Good because it means that Nico is at the right spot and her actions are having an effect. Bad because that means he's now fully aware that someone is in the right spot. He can't be allowed to come back to his senses. Justin looks around for some sort of distraction, but apart from Blue, there isn't much to catch his attention. Hey, Salila, go see if you can find something to tie him up with. Tie him up? Have you seen the size of that guy? Would you rather sit around waiting to die? Just go already. Justin needs to do something too. Following Nico's example, he finds cables by the power distribution box and tugs as hard as he can. Of course, he has no idea whether or not he's tugging the right ones, but anything's better than hiding. Also, he can't just leave Nico to all the heavy lifting. He has to admit that he doesn't have the same courage and fortitude as Zack, but even he can't fight it head on. He can at least cause distraction, same as Nico. Without a clue to ask what he's doing, he puts all his trust in Nico. Just as makes his mind, it's up to him to distract the enemy as much as possible, by any means necessary. But things rarely ever work as planned. These sounds can't be good. Can't wait for that, it could happen to anyone. Yeah. Yes, who's? The man scratches his head. His breathing is heavy, and he turns his head slowly, like a wild beast ready to start hunting. His gaze settles on Nico. Don't let him get her. Come get some. Zack flies through the air before he's even finished shelling. Visible in his blur, he pounces straight towards Yami's head. No, kill it. Flinging his arms around, aimlessly kicking around, the man tries to drive away his feline assailant. He is disoriented and stumbles around, looking like he could fall over any second, but the fact remains that he has a major advantage in both size and strength. Jump, dodge, and run. Intercept, chase, and block. Justin sees how Zack is knocked aside by the man's long, thin arm, barely managing to land on his feet as he pulls out a pained growl. He can't expect Zack to fight his battle on his own. He just stops what he's doing and rushes towards the enemy, his teeth bared. Though Justin is not as experienced as Zack when it comes to ferociously fighting, 2-on-1 is always an advantage. Over here. Justin takes advantage of his enemy's momentary distraction and claws away at his heel. His skin is dry and fragile from being locked away for so long, and blood soon starts spurting. Just attack definitely had an effect. The man is clearly in pain and seems frenzied and even more bloodthirstier than before. Just collects thoughts and concentrates on dodging the volley of kicks aimed at him. Hey, I'm still over here too. So have all without me. Careful, Zack. I think you pissed him off enough. He's going crazy. Yeah, I could see that. Alright, ready? There's a response. In this case, the fact eases just his mind a little. It means Nico's staying calm and fully concentrated on her job. Hey, dumbass! Oh. Hey, dumbass! I'm over here! No! Stop! Try to catch me if you can! You don't want me to stop. Take this! Zack has a good rhythm going on, constantly jumping back and forth underneath his opponent's legs. He looks like Bullfire in action, cleverly evading incoming attacks, punching, kicking, biting. The man is using every means of attack available, smashing a part of the room in the process, much to Justice's dismay. The man seems to be recovering and regaining accuracy. Jeez, that was way too close. You okay? Yeah, I mean, an inch closer and I'd be, minced cat. What now? First we should. Another ferocious stack interrupts their conversation. Talk to me. Nico, say something. What's the situation? Don't rush me. I'm busy. She managed to cut through another one of the wires, check the wires. Here we go again. Another headache. This time, even more sensitive than the last one. This works to the advantage. They can all feel the impact, with their opponents still fresh out on the machine. It must have been worse for him. As much as he wants to take advantage of the situation, Pauls aren't a weapon to be heavily relied on in such a serious battle. Where's Salil? I don't know. I told her to look for something. How can we sneak around at a time like this? Oh, over there. Salil's close to them, dragging a thick cable from the machine. She's doing a good job. Her efforts don't appear to do the same results as Nico's. What the hell are you doing? Get over here and help! Wait, I'm still... Screw it. There's no time for that. Zack upspeaks Salil in a somewhat rude and direct fashion. They've known each other for long enough not to follow formalities anymore. However, Zack has forgotten one thing. Losing temper at such crucial moments can have devastating results. Situation The impact is almost enough to knock Salil out of him. He's pretty sure that his left leg is at least sprained, and his tailbone is sore from the pressure. With cat bones being as fragile as they are, the force of the impact is a lot worse than anyone could have anticipated. Zack doesn't seem to have it much better, and both of them roll and tumble along the ground, immobilized. Fortunately, they both aren't knocked out completely. However, the same thing is true for the enemy. So, Justin hears Salil's anxious cries, and with the little spare energy he has left, he assesses the situation and rises to the conclusion. There is no time left, because the enemy is staring right in Nico's direction, who is stuck to switchboard. Nico, look out! Stop screaming, be quiet. Just covers Zack's mouth with his last ounce of strength, and Nico does not make a single sound. She has to do everything within her power to avoid being discovered. Lucky Man looks exhausted, and Neo slips on the floor and double turns. The second wave of interference from the machine must have had affected vision somehow. Every now and then, he waves his hand as if trying to repel something that only he can see. He's behaving like a monkey being led around in chains, reverting to his old self for a moment. Revolves has protection. How cunning. No wonder all that buy-in and gnawing won't work. How are we doing over there? Get ready, I'm gonna plug 3 wires over here and see if that does the trick. 3 of them. 2 waves of interference has already occurred, meaning Nico's judgment is right. They're to follow. Justin is too much pain to be happy about the anticipation. He just wants things to be over. Come on. Just one more. In his mind, just cheers on Nico. However, some things are not meant to be. Luck is not on her side. After a spectacular display of sparks flying everywhere, Nico suddenly jumps out, twitching as if she's on fire. It's easy to see how much pain she must be right now. Die. Another howl. This time Lucky Man moves without even giving Justin time to react. His large battered body stumbles and slides across the room, close in the distance to Nico at an alarming rate. Please, dummy, help me. You die. No. Stop it. Now, for ferocious war, an attempt to get the frenzied man's attention is futile. As he's so in range, he doesn't even notice it. Shouldn't be like this. He has so much more left to say to that little girl. Everything's happening in slow motion. In his head, multiple endings to the scenario play out. None of them pleasant. There's no change in the inevitable. The raging man suddenly comes crashing to the ground. Ah! What? What's going on? The man is stopped in his tracks, just a few steps short of Nico. Not because he's given up, and not because of his frail state. He's here strained and able to move his body. The trailing feet are plunged into a deep and tangled pile of cables on the ground. I just can't believe it actually worked. The crazy creature struggles on the ground, but the more he thrashes about, the more the cables start wrapping themselves around him. Usually, stick cables impose so much of a threat, but thanks to Sleel's preparation, they arrange in a way that makes it much more likely to trip over them. His efforts pay off, or her efforts to pay off in a major way. Justin can barely believe what he's seen. Quick, we need to help her! Right now, Sleel's the calmest of them all, which might be due to the fact that her plan was so successful. She loosens the wire in her mouth and wags her tail at Nico. Hurry! The opportunity is too great to miss. Driven by the sound of Nico's voice, Justin grabs the thickest cable next to his feet with his mouth, gathers all his strength, and pounces at the twitching target. Get away! He still doesn't understand why his work has failed. He is at the end of his tether. He is so weak he can't even shake off a few cats. Damn it, don't make me do this. You calm down. We'll find a way to fix this. Sleel has been waiting to say this. Yet, even after a statement, Monkey still struggles. Justin knows it's an empty promise. You evil! You evil! Man, shut up. Justin can hear Nico's mumbling to herself. She doesn't seem to be in a good mood. Now, see if it's between what you're doing and what they have done. Being mistreated, becoming human, and then torturing the humans that have been put in animals, none of this is simple. The scope of this act of revenge has reached a level of madness, wandering around this twisted fortress for the last 3 days to prove that. All that can be found here are the remnants of a tragedy. It all ends in hopelessness, long before the four investigators become involved. There is nothing more they can do to fix this. No! Not me! No! Not the same! Me and you! Not the same! Not like you! No! No, damn it! You! And now for the afternoon news. I should have grabbed a drink before I did this. The Mano Amno Control Service issued a statement yesterday following an anonymous call. The service found a large number of stray animals at the construction site in town. After a nightly emergency operation, most of the animals are now emotionally stable. At this point, the disappearance of the pets in the city over the last several months, seems to have been already resolved. The association said they've been working together tirelessly with provisional organizations to raise sufficient energy funds
emergency funds, and that these animals will finally have a safe and stable place to stay. The Mountain Animal Control Service has published a list of pet hospitals and veterinary clinics that are temporarily listed rescued animals on their official websites. Please contact the association to help the owners recover their pets. Alright. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do here. How long's an epilogue? Yeah. That's what we're gonna do here. In the next episode, we'll finish up the epilogue chapter 4 and probably start on chapter 5. But yeah, until then, peace.